What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Hey Woo the Guru, aka Soccer God, a Studio One Live production. Let's get it. Mm-hmm. I'm working on. Well, I'm not working on any images today, right now. So we're gonna close you out, little Gimpy. Gimpy. Get your GIMP, man. It's free. Photoshop. I learned how to animate some GIFs on there and do a few other little tricks in the last little bit. And I was watching dude play some game. Oh, my clip champ. I'm working on a movie for my AI images and my Adamite characters. We're gonna pause that as well. Right now, man, we just look at Coach Hayes. He on live, man. Let me see who he got. Who he got on deck, man. I wasn't even expecting to see Coach Hayes on deck. He live, and I'm recording right now. I was just gonna scan the web and see what's going on.
Don't panic. Get Sentry.
Speed up slowdowns to prevent crap.
When
they see names out there, they feel like, okay, we can just go out there and get it. I'm ecstatic for the hire. I have been pro Billy since the beginning. I've stood behind him. I've believed in this process. The process, in my opinion, has shown to starting to work. We're starting to see what he's implementing come to fruition, and it's just patience. I don't think. Look, everyone's gonna look at Brian Kelly and what he did at LSU. He didn't walk into a dumpster fire at LSU, and Brian Kelly is a fantastic coach. Don't get it twisted. But I would, at this point, I would still stick
He
with.
did pretty good.
Kelly.
He ain't walking no dumpster fire. There wasn't no dumpster fire, bro. He had some talent there, boy.
Okay, somebody said you're lagging a little bit, Shelton. I'm not sure what's happening. It looks kind of clear on my side. I'm good.
He look good to me.
Anyway, we'll rock on. So you guys said this, and both of you all said, it's going to take a little time. And we all know in today's fan base, especially Mike Canes, and a lot, Colorado, and anybody else who gets a new coach, they want instant gratification, right? Popcorn generation. Put it in for 30 seconds, pop, 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 and I got a meal. The question is, I think a lot of people who do these
Coach
shows,
Hayes, and your analogy, man.
Vlogs and all that, we kind of get that. But does the fan base, I guess that's really, it's really a dumb question, right? They never really get it, but I'm asking the question anyway. Is the Florida fan base on board with the give him time, or they like, look, man, if this year looks like
dude
last year,
look like Billy Napier in the
corner.
corner.
Are they kind of like that, or are they kind of like, all right, I'm with the same sentiment as you guys have, like, let them build it, and then they'll come.
I'm gonna look at me
I'll
some
go first
clips.
on this, Dave. I think you got the Gator Nation kind of split in two. My dad's kind of in the category of the Bull Gator.
While they looking
the
around.
older
Man, check out
group,
David Polite
they're not as patient. They're not
his
going to
missing
sit around and
persons
wait. And somebody even
report. The guy
and said, look,
is
shows like ourselves,
putting
High Top,
his all
is
in
break
this,
down
man. He
alleys.
even
We're
lost his
preaching
son
patience. I think we're helping the fan
on
base
his very
understand because
journey.
you got somebody like,
Okay, and
we're just
I can
fans.
talk about
You're
how
playing
I
like,
lost
hey,
my
it's gonna be a
daughter 2
process.
years
Don't-
ago.
Don't rush
Think
this.
it's a
It's gonna
game.
take some time. It's not like it's gonna be when Spurrier came in and flipped it on its head. Those days
Yeah,
are kind of
this
gone
my
by the wayside.
baby,
You
man.
need to allow this
God
to build
bless
this
her.
process. The reason
She-
why we're
she
struggling
in
against the
heaven.
likes of Kentucky.
She went through some battles. You feel me?
Because they flip coaches.
They go a few.
like
They go a lot of. There
but,
was some pictures of
Kentucky
her family.
with
Oh,
Stoops.
that's me.
He's done a great job of building that program up.
Yeah.
Toward now, look, he's
I miss your old daughter. Matter of
and
fact,
they're competitive. We were the
I'm
Big
going
Brother for a
through
very
some
long
of
time,
it
but now
right
it's a dogfight getting over Kentucky, and I think a lot of it has to do with them
addicted to
being
social
patient
media right
in
now.
that coaching process. Look, we're much further behind
she writing
than
a book.
people want to recognize. It's not like that back in the day where Florida shows up and takes names and kicks ass. They're farther.
I can't understand it.
They've been behind.
Well, I do
for
understand it
quite some
'cause
time, so that's going to take
I was,
a lot of time to get caught back up.
I actually gave her one of my little story plots,
And real
and
quick,
she
Dave,
was
before you
kind of
jump in, I just wanna
running
say
away
this
with it.
to your point.
It was the animal
I
totem
don't mean any
fighters.
disrespect
It was,
to
it
Kentucky,
was
but I
a
think their
spring off
expectations were
a
nowhere
book
near as
I'm
high
writing
as
now
Florida.
called All Things Are
When you
Alive.
have- when you have teams that have done
You feel
it,
me?
have won it,
All Things Are Alive, Mr. Thingleton. You know, I'm working on that book now as I'm trying to work on my Adamites. And I got part two of the Rainforest Project, you feel me? I put that on the back burner while I'm trying to record part one as an audio. Because everybody say they want to hear my voice. They want me to read to them. So I'm going to read to them, you got me? I'm going to read this Adamite story, you know? But I'm going to type that shit up and see what AI do with it. That's what I'm going to do for her. I'm going to type it all up. I'm going to say, AI, fill in the blanks. Grammar, da 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 da. Organize the characters, da 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 da. Write in screen format, whatever. Da, 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 da. Yeah, AI gonna get it. AI gonna get it. If you don't know about AI, man, go to your Chat GPT. You feel me? And I got the file uploader. Well, I can upload the files. And go to your stable diffusion. Hold on, what that is? Start, y'all. No. Hold on my stable diffusion, man. Hold on. Okay. For some reason, make your dreams come true, huh? What you mean get started? What you mean? I suppose I already be in there. No. Where's my... Well, let's go to E Dolly. I'm sorry, so many goddamn. Where my E Dolly? Hold on. You know what? Y'all pissing me off, goddamn. Hey. Anyway, let me stop going through my files of this goddamn video. Exposing the gatekeepers. Who is these gatekeepers? Who are they? They still hiding themselves behind closed doors. You feel me? We still don't know who the hell these gatekeepers are, Mr. Dane Calloway. We really don't. I mean, we could speculate like who are the gatekeepers. You feel me? And I'm pretty sure he did some matter of fact. What is this video he's showing? He made me want to skip it right to this one. On who that is. Oh, I fuck with Dane, boy. Dane did some hard work, boy. You gotta give him his due props. I don't know how he got the trial very well, man. God bless him. And God Almighty, the Supreme, will protect my brother. You feel me? Cause you know people like us, they want to knock us off. But get what? As long as we don't have no fear of it, death come to those who it come to. Who can run? Who can hide? We all will die. Some sooner, some later. What the fuck is it about? No fear in it. And a lot of times God gonna let you, as long as you got a purpose, boy, that purpose gonna live. Because that's the definition of life. If you have purpose, you are alive. That is the true definition of life. All things are alive. Didn't I just tell you I'm writing a book called All Things Are Alive? This mouse is a living entity, has purpose. Why should I tear it and kill it, break it? That's a murderer. A vandal is a murderer. Don't get it twisted. He has anger problems. He has issues, destruction on his mind. No different than if he killed someone who has purpose. He killed something. Of course, we're going to value human life more than a cup or a microphone or a mouse, of course. Some people ain't though. Some people value their laptop more than your life, depending on what they got on that laptop, depending on the purpose of that laptop. That laptop might have more power than your measly life. More alive, more purpose than your measly life. What are you doing with your measly life is the question. Okay, oh, everybody's life is, yeah, everything is meaningful. Everything has the same right to be here, right to live its purpose. So who are you in your measly life? Who you think you are? You ain't shit but measles, crumbs. Exactly. There's, yeah. That's why I speak regardless if I don't get a view or at all. Who gives a fuck? I'm measly. I'm meaningless. What power can I truly have? There is no power in such mediocrity, huh? It's more than mediocrity. Bad day in women's sports, huh? This guy was supposedly beating up on this guy was supposed to beating up on his girlfriend. First of all, he ran to a jiu-jitsu. So he got the white boy and grabbed him. Hold on, man. No, dog.
For him, he ran into a jiu-jitsu brown belt, and the rest is history.
Baby.
You're not my baby. You a
You're lucky that I'm not the type to fuck you up.
Alright, well, I'd rather y'all be able to go to jail. I'm not that type of nigga. Y'all looking at it from one side of the scope.
Oh my God! Right here we got a woman beater, guys.
My bag, man,
Man, oh boy.
Stop yelling.
Nah.
This guy was supposedly beating up on his girlfriend, and unfortunately for him, he ran into a jiu-jitsu brown belt, and the rest is history.
Nah, bro.
You're not my baby.
You gonna get some shit split, boy. Oh no, this looks so embarrassing.
I made a video saying that I enjoyed Joe Rogan's podcast. Immediately, I lost 15,000 followers.
Hold on, man.
This guy was supposedly beating up on
Hold
his
on,
girlfriend.
man. This shit is so embarrassing, man. I mean, they just put this jiu-jitsu bullshit on a pedestal. I think it's a bit too much, man. I really do. And yeah, you on the grass. That's the perfect setting for you, old jiu-jitsu boy. Cause you know in the streets I'm like concrete, boy. That shit ain't that easy, boy. Real. See, I just want to see the context of this. What he did, come up from behind you and grabbed you. How did he get you like this, man? I ain't gonna judge you, but it's embarrassing, dude. It's so embarrassing. But I just want to see the context of this video, please. I mean, the context, not as far, okay, yeah, this girl, this bitch crying. And let's see the girl. Did she beat up that bad? What? And then I see his shit split. Did y'all
Fortunately
split
for
his
him,
shit?
he ran into a jiu-jitsu brown belt, and the rest is
How
history.
he ran into a jiu-jitsu? Him and his girlfriend.
You're lucky that I'm not the type to fuck you up.
Alright, well, I'd rather y'all be able to go to jail. I'm not that type of nigga. Y'all looking at it from one side of the scope.
Oh my God! Right here we got a woman beater, guys.
My bag, man, I can't breathe.
The more you relax, the better you can breathe.
Stop yelling.
Man, that shit embarrassing, bro.
This guy.
I made a video saying that I enjoyed
That's
Joe Rogan's
embarrassing.
podcast. Immediately, I lost 15,000 followers. And I got all these hate comments about, oh, you love guns. I was like, no, I like his podcast. It's, oh, you're a right wing. I'm like, I don't even understand American politics. I just like his podcast. And then one of my clients reached out and said, Vin, take that video down. We can't be seen to be working with someone like you if you're posting this content, especially on LinkedIn. We take it down. I was like, I think it's easier for us not to work together. You're changing who I am. You're making me lie to everyone to pretend to be something that I'm absolutely not. And I see this all the time. People are so afraid of what other people think that they will do whatever other people want, and those people don't care about you and they'll forget about you anyway. If you try to please everyone, you will end up pleasing no one. The person willing to state the truth and be themselves, very powerful. Was the
Very
person that allows
powerful.
every other person to do
That's why I
what they
fought
do,
with these
does
Asians,
not have
man.
power.
The chinks,
I made a
man.
video saying that I
fought with
enjoyed
the
Joe Rogan's
chinks, man.
podcast. Immediately I lost
They-
15,000 followers. And I got all
They
these hate comments
lead.
about, oh, you love guns.
They
I was
lead
like,
to
no,
me.
I like his
If I had to
podcast.
decide
Oh,
who
you're
gonna
a
lead
right
the
wing. I'm like,
world,
don't
I
even
would take
understand
the
American
chinks,
politics.
man.
I just like his podcast.
I wouldn't
And
take the
then one of my
Arabs
clients reached out. and said,
because
"Take that
they
video.
want to
You
push
can't be
Allah
saying
down
something
on me.
like you."
They gonna have the whole world
Especially
Allah,
take
or
that.
else
I was like,
all you women covered
it's
up,
easier for us not to
all that old bullshit. No, I
You're
ain't
changing
with
who I
that.
am. You're making me lie to everyone. to pretend to be
Muslims.
something that I'm absolutely not.
We
And I see
always
this
see
all
what
the time.
the
People are so
Europeans
afraid of what other people think
did,
that they
what
will do
white
whatever
people
other
did.
people want, and those
We
people don't
burning
care
up
about you and
right
forget
now.
about you.
Record
If you
heat.
try to please everyone,
They
you will end up pleasing
disaster.
no one. The
Okay.
person willing to state the truth
Mexicans,
and be themselves, very
Latinos.
powerful. Was the person that allows every other person to dictate what they do, does not have power. I made a video saying that I enjoyed Joe Rogan's podcast. Immediately I lost 15,000 followers.
Nah,
And I got
no
all
problem with
these
the
hate
chink,
comments
though.
about, oh, you love guns. I was like, no,
They
no, I
kind
like
of
his
military
Oh,
strict.
you're a right wing. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
even understand American
You know.
politics. I just like his podcast.
Chinese
and
people,
then
they
one of my clients
they-
reached out and said, Vin,
I
take that
see
video down.
some
We can't be
Chinese.
seeing
I don't know.
you
Maybe it's
like
a.
you.
It's
If
they
you're
got a
posting
billion
content,
people,
especially on LinkedIn, we take
so
that
they
down.
got
I was like,
all
I think it's
walks
easier
of
to
life.
work together.
Clean,
You're changing who I am.
just
You're making me lie
plastic,
to everyone to pretend to be something. I'm
dirty,
absolutely not.
grimy.
And I see
That
this all
they
the time.
do
People are so afraid
shit
of what
on
other
the
people think that
streets.
they will do whatever other people want. And
The
those people don't care
innovative
about you and they'll forget about you.
farmer,
If you try to please everyone, you
true
end up pleasing no one.
earth
The person
being
willing to
that
state
loves
truth
the
and
earth.
be themselves,
And they got
very
the,
powerful.
the,
Was the person that allows every other person
man,
to
they
dictate
got
what they do,
all
does not
walks
have
of
power.
life.
I made a video
The
saying that I
chinks.
enjoyed Joe Rogan's podcast. Immediately I
And then
lost
you got
15,000
Korea.
followers. And I got
To
all
me,
these hate
China and
comments
Korea
about,
are
oh,
the
you
closest.
love guns. I was like,
They're the
no, I
closest
like his podcast.
together.
Oh,
They are the
you're
same
a right
to
wing.
me.
I'm like, I don't even understand
And then
American
you got
politics. I just like his
Japan.
podcast. And then
And
one of my clients
that
reached out and
ocean
said, "Vin, take that video
separate
down. We can't be
that
seeing you working so
Taiwan,
much,
them oceans
if you're
separated
posting this
them
content, especially on
and
LinkedIn.
changed
Take
them
that. I was like,
different.
I think it's easy.
Changed them a little bit.
You're changing who I am.
And
You're
it's
making me
just
lie to everyone to
apparent.
pretend to be something that
I
I'm
know,
absolutely
bro. Let me get you off my goddamn. Okay. Don't play with boxing. Don't play with learn from old school coach, not from the bull in the park. Okay. That shit, come on, bro. He throw some. What's that? Come on, man. Yeah, that was a video. They fake. That shit was fake as fuck, man. Y'all stop, man. Please stop. Let me go back to my dog, man. You'll get caught up in them.
You know, I mean, he goes into
Them
detail.
new goddamn shorts
Thank you for letting
will
us know
catch
that
your
I'm in
ass
rankings, even though
and
you know,
zap
you
your
really
ass in like.
much advanced than anything else. But
Oh,
you know,
I gotta
they have a
break
different
apart that
recruiting
shit.
process. I mean, you know, 24/7 and
you
Rivals,
got to
they
break
have their
apart that
recruiting
shit, boy.
process. Now on 3 is factoring in more things like coaches' opinions, ex-NFL's opinions, how they do it interviews, or you know, do they fall asleep during something? And I don't understand like how that should factor into somebody's recruiting ranking and their ability to play football. Like I get that like coaches want to know
home life was a factor.
Yeah,
right?
home life
Whether or
and-
not
and all
the
that
risk
stuff.
reward would factor into their ranking.
Yeah, and
Again,
I'm
opinions from coaches, which
Damn.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
yeah, no, I didn't get that. Like, that should never be a factor. in
Yeah, you
somebody's
is
ability to play
laggy.
football. I mean, like, who cares where they came
You
from? Like,
you
who
jumping
cares,
in late,
like, what a
bro.
coach-
And
like,
cuz like,
if
wait a
the
minute,
coach
why you
thinks something
interrupting
about
me
a
at this
player, like,
moment?
The head coach
You're
of
a
the
little
other team
late.
can ask him, like, what does that have to do with his ranking to play football? I didn't get that part, and I think like, you know, the recruiting process and the ranking process was never broken to begin with, and I think like. I think On 3's trying to be different, and I get that, and I think you can be different in some sort of aspect, but I think you're putting too much into a recruiting ranking. Like you're trying to fix something that's never been broken. Like
Sure.
if you want to have a separate like a separate like ranking system for, I mean, whatever
Character or whatever.
character, something like that. Yeah, do that separate from like the actual recruiting ranking. Like I just never got that. So, and that's kind of what I took away from that. But I was really asking more about like some of the articles that they released and
Oh, they had that. They had that incorporated in their character.
Information in it, and
Is that what you
I'm
saying,
best friends
sir?
with Eddie Rojas, the owner of Gator Collective, which was Gator Collective at the time. He called me right when it happened. He told me everything. Obviously I can't say any kind of details because of legal reasons or anything like that. But a lot of that
I'm gonna
article was
chat
wrong, and they didn't even call
GPT that.
Eddie or
I'm
Joe
doing
Rosa or
a
anybody from Gator Collective to get their side of the
pre-recorded
story. They just ran it
podcast
by
right
inside and
now.
put it up there.
Watching
So that's what I had a
YouTube.
big
What
issue
should I
with. And
tell
then
the
he
audience?
said, I don't know. I have no
I am
clue.
doing
And it was one of the biggest NIL stories last year. So I don't. You knew who wrote the
Recorded
article, but you said you were going to get back to me. I still haven't got anything
podcast.
back from him yet, and it's been what, like 2 weeks.
Wow, watching
Yeah,
YouTube.
I mean, it gets that way. And one thing I've realized after watching that, and I heard exactly what you just said. They start talking about, if a coach says this or a coach says this.
Watching YouTube.
And I'm starting to look at the recruiting service kind of like coaching sometimes.
What
Sometimes coaches.
should I
See, I can only speak from a coach's perspective.
Right.
tell?
Coaches sometimes make stuff hard. Bro, a hitch is a hitch, right? But I got to get this guru patch as a coach because I got to call it the super duper hitch. Right?
Okay. Well, then
Just
what
so
he
I
say?
can, it's
What
like I
he
got
say?
naming rights. Like I found this
ChatGPT
new
say,
cave and I want to
"Hello, everyone,
So I have to
and
do
welcome to our
something
pre-recorded
different.
podcast. Today's
But it's
episode
really
is
the
going to
same
be a
thing.
unique and exciting
But I gotta
experience
make it
because,
look
as you
different.
can probably tell,
So
we
I
are
can
also watching
name it.
YouTube
So I can
videos
take the- you know what I
while
mean?
we
So I can
record.
take the-
Now, you might be
So I
wondering
said all that
why
to-
we
I'm
chose
saying that
this
to say the
format.
same thing.
Well,
Sometimes you can make it
we
look
believe that
fun.
incorporating
you
YouTube
have to
videos into our
understand,
podcast will add
who
an
is
extra
your
layer
audience?
in
Your audience
activity
are these
and
players,
fun. Plus,
right? These coaches
it gives us an
very
opportunity to
honest.
explore
Don't care two ways
visual
from Thursday
content
about
that
these
we can
rankings.
describe.
Only thing
and
these
discuss
rankings have
with you
done
all.
have eliminated
Throughout the
scouting
podcast,
services that they used to
we'll
pay
be
a bunch of
watching a
money for.
carefully
Right?
curated
They used to
selection of
come and
YouTube
compile
videos
this.
that are
See,
related
I'm
to
an
our
old
podcast
guy
theme or topic.
So these
We'll
they
be
used to have
providing
recruiting
commentary
services that
actions,
would send
insights,
brochures
and watch
or guys would
together.
come out
Don't
with
worry
White Thomas
if you're
with
not able to
XOs.
watch the
You know
videos
who
along
that
with
is?
us.
He used to
We'll
have
do our
recruiting
best to
services where they
describe
come
what's
get all your top
happening
players,
so
compile
you
a list,
won't
and
miss
send it
out
to
on the
universities,
experience.
right?
Yeah, but didn't they
Also,
have, like, magazines
remember,
that had them all in there?
remember,
Yeah, but that was way
you can
back
always
then.
check out the
Coaches got
videos
it.
we're discussing later
Yeah,
on your own
magazines,
time.
that was
We'll make
this
sure
kind
to
of-
mention the
that was
titles and creators so
These
you
lists
can
get
easily
compiled from
find them
high school
and then
coaches,
enjoy the
college
content for
coaches,
yourself.
they
Like
say,
my
"Top
dog,
players in the
the
USA,
coach,
blah, blah, blah,
hey,
blah, 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 blah,
podcast,
blah, blah,
check out his prime time talk on Thursday. Tuesdays he's on. Sundays Arcane, Stalker, get at it. One of the great things about this format is that it allows us to discover new content and creators, sparking interest, conversation, reactions. So, hey, get ready to laugh, learn, and explore the fascinating world of YouTube with us.
So
And also,
at 10,000,
hey, as
15,000
always,
on the list.
we encourage you to share your
South Florida
thoughts,
list could go
opinions,
for
and suggestions. You can
$20,000.
reach out
So
to us
imagine
on
if you
social
sold
media or
that
through
list
our
for
website,
$20,000 for
studioonelive.com
Georgia, Tennessee,
/soccer.
Alabama,
Website
Arkansas,
to us.
at
Now,
$20,000.
you
a
know
list.
your favorite parts
that's
of the
the South
episode or even suggest future
Then you do
YouTube videos
Central
for a react to. Come on,
Then you
hit
do
us up.
North Florida.
So without further ado, let's
And you
dive
multiply that times
into
the
our
amount of
first
schools you
video
have.
of the day. Get
But then you
comfortable,
become the
grab some
trusted name
snacks,
that they-
and
so
let's
how do you
make this
think when people
podcast
walk
a
in,
memorable,
hey,
entertaining
how you
experience
doing
together.
today?
Thank you for tuning
you
in.
got
And let's
Shelton?
get
Is
started.
Shelton here today?
That's
How in the world does he know who
ChatGPT,
Shelton is?
motherfucking T.
He has a list already. Height, weight. The
That's
guy
what he
come,
said.
verify
He
some
said
guys
it in
that
the
come out
blink of
there
an
Saturday,
eye.
bring pizza for the
He
kids.
said it in the
And they
blink
sit
of
there and
an
measure
eye.
away all these kids. And that's how they got
But don't be
verified.
afraid of
Right.
AI, because it's just a
That's
super
how those
fast
issues-
library.
Now, when you got these recruiting sites who come along in the digital world, it eliminated all of that.
It's just a super fast library. It could just, but that's impressive. That's impressive. Hello. You know what? Let me copy that. Because when I post this video, when we post this video, we gon' put some of that those chat GPT suggestions in there, buddy. Don't forget, you mess with Missing 411, David Polides. Go join his channel. They snatching us, bro. They snatch. He ain't gonna tell you that. Cause you know he's a white guy. He's a 20-year police detective. He's strictly the facts. And the UFOs ain't gonna leave no evidence. But he do that in movie. You seen it? 411, the missing connection. They snatching us, boy. Yeah, it's no doubt about it. And there's different ones snatching us. And no doubt of, oh shit, they got the oversight committee here.
There's nothing more powerful
We
than
just
you
talked about it.
making your
And they
day happen.
snatching us.
Really
Just
going for
talked
it.
about it and they
Congress and
snatching
thus
us.
the American people, and any government entity that attempts to stonewall us is doing nothing in the invested interest of the American people. When I take at face value the numerous roadblocks that we've been presented with, it leads me to believe that they are indeed hiding information. I look forward to bringing this topic to light and finding out the truth of what is really out there.
Next speaker, we represent Burleson. He and I traveled
Man,
to
let
our
me show
southern
this
border
old cornball
a few
shit,
months
man.
back,
Who is
and
the
we became
boss?
really good friends.
Let's
He
find
really
out
loves
who is
this
the
country,
boss.
and he liked to
Because if
represent
the
us.
president was the boss, this shit wouldn't be needed. We'd just go in there and say, hey, man, give us the documents. Let's see, give us the evidence. Let's see what's going on.
Thank you for
Who's the boss?
spearheading this effort. I'll start out by saying that I'm a skeptic on a lot of stuff. I come from a computer science background and finance background, so I tend to err on the side of things that I can see and touch, and I don't give into conspiracies. But too often the federal government works outside of the public eye, and in conspiracies and rumors tend to flourish in places where the federal government is silent or not transparent. The American people deserve to know what their tax
What is he
dollars are
talking
funding
about, dude?
and what the government knows.
You want
That's
to jump
just
off
plain
with
and simple.
conspiracies?
The
Conspiracies.
other thing I think is important is that
You
our
don't believe in
servicemen
this
and women
conspiracies.
who are
Why are
risking
you
their country
starting your whole speech with conspiracies?
we
If
owe
you
it to
don't
them
believe
to
it,
find
you're
out
just
what is in the
skeptic.
air that might potentially
Why?
What's disturbing is when you hear about the accounts of 14 near misses in air. Next week's hearing is about transparency. Like many Americans, I read David Grush's story when it first came out and watched the TV interviews. I was struck by the sheer amount of detail, so I was able to contact him and hear directly from him in a lengthy phone call interview. And after speaking with him, I was convinced that the American people deserve to hear from him directly. That's why I asked Chairman Comer to hold this hearing.
All these old cute ass names, Chairman, Corman, Chairman. Okay, who is the boss?
It is time for transparency, and I'll say one more thing. It's the responsibility of members on oversight to do. This is our job. This is exactly what our responsibility is. So I'd like to thank
What is it?
Tim. And
What is
my
your
other colleagues
responsibility,
for
sir?
their leadership in putting this together.
You haven't
And I
explained
wanna
it to
thank
us.
the chairman for his support.
Please explain it to us.
We'll answer your question. I too would
Please
like to thank
explain
Chairman
it to
Comer
us.
and Speaker McCarthy who have allowed us to do this.
Because you haven't explained what the job, y'all job are. This is y'all job, huh?
Yeah, we were.
And if others have other, give us very specific things, what the inquiry was, what they responded, how you went back, and therefore what your thesis is and what they're trying to cover up.
Okay, well, and what Representative Luna and I experienced was our colleague Matt Gates was contacted by some folks that said that some people would like to talk about some information, some things they'd seen, and we contacted the Air Force and we flew. We were told we were going to be briefed on this issue, the UFO, UAP. I like UFO, and we got down there. And
UFO, all that old UAP and shit. I like UFO. Damn right.
The synopsis had nothing to do. It was some pretty big important stuff, but it was not anything to do with the UFO. And we stopped the.
But I see why they say aerial phenomena, because some of them shit are lights and orbs. They're not. It's hard to call that an object per se. When you're looking at an object, you're thinking of a vehicle, vessel. actual
It
structural
was
with
the commanding general
with
of
some
Eglin Air Force
physical
Base, and ultimately
metallic
couldn't be figured out
form
down
in
there.
a
The Pentagon
sense.
actually tried to cancel the
But it's
hearing.
some
And also, it's important to note that these were whistleblowers. These were pilots that had come forward to Representative Gates' office.
these are
with
lights
information
and
saying
orbs
this
and
needs to be
shit.
investigated. We have an increase in sightings in this region, and it's
Orbs.
a cause for concern for national security.
Man, this shit serious, man.
So we went down there.
And y'all ain't
Stonewall.
watching this
They
shit.
would
Y'all
not
ain't
give us
paying
access
attention to this
testimony
shit that
from
was
some of the
about to
pilots. They
go
were
down.
hiding images and information.
That's on
There
y'all.
was pictures available, which we still have.
I don't even feel like hearing no more of they bullshit because they just a bunch of clatter. Who is the boss? Representative Burchett and colleagues. Like, this is a cute ass wall y'all got. Where's this? Where are y'all? I don't even feel like looking that shit up because it don't even matter. Because they still can't get back to the bottom of this shit. Like, where's the boss? Who is the boss? He found another who? Another sack. Undiscovered species. Undiscovered species. Damn, that shit look real. That shit could be. Oh yeah, that's so much CIG. Man, I'm not finna get caught in no short, man. Can't do it. They tried to get me. Let me see. I'm just trying to see some news out, man. Let me go to the news panel here. What a news panel. I don't even see. Okay, here we go. They don't even got no news. They used to have Tucker Carlson, Breaking Fox News. No, Tuck. I ain't gonna look at you, bro. Incredible Pentagon testimony. House intelligence. Oh my God. Let's see. I guess.
The homeless problem is getting worse. It's not getting better. Crime is getting worse. It's not getting better.
Damn, that nigga mugging shit.
Regulations are getting worse. It's not getting better.
People are bailing on California in record numbers.
More than half of Californians are considering moving. It might be harder to find a U-Haul than to find your next home.
The exodus of people moving out of California is not new.
No sane person would
They
want
doing
to
that
leave
on
California.
maybe they doing that on purpose. We did expect California to fall off the motherfucking
people are leaving.
West Coast.
In 2020, California lost 650,000 people.
First time in my lifetime I've heard that.
I'm leaving California.
Why you should consider moving to have.
We're gonna miss you guys.
Several high-profile companies like Tesla have moved their headquarters.
I'm out of here. This place is gonna sink. Watch. They already have high taxes.
This is just the tip of the iceberg.
California treats businesses like criminals and taxpayers like organ donors, and people get tired of it.
People get tired of it. Damn, how they do that, man?
$7.39 a gallon.
$3 million. This is like a normal house.
Our problems are man-made. All you have to do is pay attention.
Here is what I found.
I can't be the only person who's seen this.
The California legislature can't go on forever like this. This is a form of self-destruction.
When I came here 22 years ago, it was a different California.
Where is the state headed?
California will deteriorate.
Where'd the money go?
This is because of stupid policies. There's no other word for it.
The politicians are making money off our problems.
People were tricked.
They're being lied to, and their way of life is being destroyed.
There's a lot of people that you would be surprised by their stories.
My entire...
Damn, that shit look devastating.
Considerable
Boy,
effort
they
engaging
painted
directly
that
with our
picture.
naval aviators and building relationships to help digitize the act of reporting sightings or encounters.
Mr. Scott
And
Bray.
we work with naval aviation leadership to provide additional equipment to record any encounter. Navy and Air Force crews now have step-by-step procedures for reporting on a UAP on their kneeboard in the cockpit and in their post-flight debrief procedures. The direct result of those efforts has been increased reporting, with increased opportunities to focus a number of sensors on any objects. The message is now clear. If you see something, you need to report it. And the message has been received. In fact, recently, I received a call from a senior naval aviator with over 2,000 flight hours. He called me personally from the flight line after landing to talk about an encounter that he had just experienced. Those were just the initial steps. We also made a concerted effort to assemble subject matter experts from across the Department of Defense and the intelligence community and other U.S. government agencies and departments. We forged partnerships with the research, development, and acquisition communities, with industry partners, and with academic research labs, and we brought many allies and international partners into our discussions on UAP. Additionally, subject matter experts from a wide variety of fields, including physics, optics, metallurgy, meteorology, just to name a few, have been brought in to expand our understanding in areas where we may not have organic expertise. In short, we've endeavored to bring an all-hands-on-deck approach to better understand this phenomenon. So what have we learned so far? Any given observation may be fleeting or longer. It may be recorded or not. It may be observable by one or multiple assets. In short, there's rarely an easy answer. For example, let me share with you the first video that we have here today, which shows an observation in real time. There it was. That's, in many cases, that's all that a report may include. And in many other cases, we have far less than this. As we detailed in both the unclassified and classified versions of the preliminary assessment released by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence last June, this often limited amount of high-quality data and reporting hampers our ability to draw firm conclusions about the nature or intent of UAP.
See, they already know some shit flying in the sky.
If and when individual UAP incidents are resolved, they likely fall into one of 5 potential explanatory categories: airborne clutter, natural atmospheric phenomena, U.S. government or U.S. industry developmental programs, foreign adversary systems, or a other bin that allows for a holding bin of difficult cases and for the possibility of surprise and potential scientific discovery. We stand by those initial results. Since the release of that preliminary report, the UAP Task Force database has now grown to contain approximately 400 reports. The stigma has been reduced. We've also made progress in resolving the character of a limited number of UAP encounters. For example, let me show you a couple of another video and image taken years apart in different areas. In this video, U.S. Navy personnel recorded what appears to be triangles, some flashing, recorded several years ago, off the coast of the United States. This was recorded while the U.S. Navy ship observed a number of small unmanned aerial systems in the area. And importantly, the video was taken through night vision goggles with a single lens reflex camera. These remained unresolved for several years. Several years later, and off a different coast, U.S. Navy personnel, again, in a swarm of unmanned aerial systems, and again through night vision goggles and an SLR camera, recorded this image. But this time, other U.S. Navy assets also observed unmanned aerial systems nearby. And we're now reasonably confident that these triangles correlate to unmanned aerial systems in the area. The triangular appearance is a result of light passing through the night vision goggles and then being recorded by an SLR camera. I don't mean to suggest that everything that we observe is identifiable, but this is a great example of how it takes considerable effort to understand what we're seeing in the examples that we are able to collect. In this example, we accumulated sufficient data from 2 similar encounters from 2 different time periods in 2 different geographic areas to help us draw these conclusions. That's not always the case, though. We recognize that that can be unsatisfying or insufficient in the eyes of many. This is a popular topic in our nation, with various theories as to what these objects may be and where they originate. By nature, we are all curious and we seek to understand the unknown. And as a lifelong intelligence professional, I'm impatient I want immediate explanations for this as much as anyone else. However, understanding can take significant time and effort. It's why we've endeavored to concentrate on this data-driven process to derive fact-based results. And given the nature of our business, national defense, we've had to sometimes be less forthcoming with information in open forums than many would hope. If UAP do indeed represent a potential threat to our security, then the capabilities, systems, processes, and sources we use to observe, record, study, or analyze these phenomena need to be classified at appropriate levels. We do not want.
So time out. What is these appropriate levels, and who is the boss? Who control these levels of classification? Like, what is this? Which
transition to the new organization? Future analysis of complicated issues.
Who is the boss, man?
Will greatly benefit from the infrastructure, the process, and the procedures that we've developed to date. I'm confident that the task force, under Navy leadership, has forged a path forward that will allow us to anchor assessments in science and engineering by anecdotal evidence.
Oh, he asking for a lightning of a grip.
The USDI
for what?
Organization does as well. So thank you very much for your interest and continuing support.
Because they're preparing
the team's made a lot of progress
for that shit to reach out to the American people. So now they got, we got to figure out how we're going to protect ourselves from this stuff.
We can sustain that momentum necessary.
Man, this shit all pre-planned here, man. Look like.
Forward to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bray. This is the third version of this task force, and to be frank, one of Congress's concerns is that the executive branch and administration, both parties, has been sweeping concerns about UAPs under the rug by focusing on events that can be explained and avoiding events that cannot be explained. What can you say to give the American people confidence that you aren't just focusing our attention on low-hanging fruit with easy explanations?
Congressman, I'll start, and then Mr. Bray, please feel free to weigh in. So the way that we're approaching this is with a more thorough, standardized methodology than what we had in the past. First and foremost, the Secretary of Defense is chartering this effort. This is not someone lower in the Department of Defense. And he has assigned that task to the Office of the Secretary of Defense, the Undersecretary for Intelligence and Security, that's me, because I'm responsible for looking at intelligence matters, I'm responsible for security matters. This is potentially both. So when you start concerning ourselves with the safety of our personnel, the safety of our installations and bases, there's no other higher priority than what we have than actually getting after this. And as you have stated, we have been assigned that task to actually stand up an office, the AIM-SOG, which I believe the name will likely change. But we have moved forward in terms of moving to establish that office. We have, as of this week,
who is y'all boss, man? Who is your boss? You say a Secretary of Defense. Who is his boss?
We've identified spaces.
He's supposed to be the person that can defend and secure and have the intelligence of all to know how to be the most powerful country. Okay, well, y'all can't even get the information. So who's blocking you? If you who is they? Who is those people?
So we can either get it to our service personnel.
Man, this shit is some bullshit, man. Y'all full of shit, man. If this shit a fraud, y'all need to step down.
Chartered by the Secretary.
Real, you need to step down, Honorable Ronald Moultrie. Because you don't even know who the fuck your boss is. Y'all can't even get the information. Y'all the Secretary of Defense. Y'all don't have any power. And you supposed to be the Congress guy.
Absolutely. So we're open to all hypotheses.
You tried to throw it on the executive branch.
Conclusions.
What about the legislative branch?
Quickly,
or the judicial branch?
And chairmanship. I want to thank you both for taking the time.
What's up, Mr. Carson?
You last week, Director Moultrie, Undersecretary.
Who is the boss? The president can't know.
It's fair
you
to say
can't know. Security Defense can't know.
It's fair to say,
man, y'all is chum burgers.
Who has spent 40 years in the intelligence field.
With your
and it's
punk
focused
ass
on
smile
science
sitting
and
up
science
there.
fiction.
Man,
That's
get
it.
the fuck out of here, Honorable Ronald Moultrie.
My
You don't have any
generation grew up
fucking power at all.
Looking at
None.
space science.
Zero. Secretary of Defense, where they at? They don't got no power either. Because what is this meeting for? Go in there and get the documents. You block from your own facilities? You block from your own military? How can you win a war? You can't even control your military. You don't have any control.
I'm enthralled by that, and I've taken that to heart.
How can we win a war, man? Just be honest. Secretary of Defense, you're responsible for it. How can we win the war and you can't even get this information?
Got to break the ice somehow. But, I have done that, right? But there's nothing wrong with that. Don't necessarily dress up, but I do believe that it's important to show that the Department of Defense has, we have character. And we're people just like you, just like the American people. We have our inquisitiveness. We have our questions. We want to know what's out there as much as you want to know what's out there. We get the questions not just from you, we get it from family. We get them night and day.
Wait a minute. Pause it, bro. What you mean? You want to know too, huh? Well, who is the boss?
So we can ensure that our people, our personnel, our aviators, our bases and installations are safe. And then that curiosity factor is something else.
How y'all gonna make sure you're safe when your own entities is withholding it from you?
Thank you, sir. Ranking Member Crawford.
Man, y'all sound like idiots to me, man. This shit is a fraud.
That wasn't.
You're fraudulent right before your eyes. The president, Congress, judicial systems, Secretary of Defense, Department of Defense. This shit is straight fraudulent right before your eyes. Go get the information. Who's holding it? Like, who has the control to shoot a missile right now? I can't. You don't even know. Do you have a power to shoot a missile right now?
The goal of our effort is to integrate it into what we already do on a normal basis, which is look for the unknowns.
Either that or y'all all lying.
Across all domains. So we've been doing this for decades. We've been looking at the space domain, looking at space objects, looking at space weather, looking at
exactly.
We've been looking at things.
Exactly. So what data do you have opposed to the rogue military?
Understand adversarial platforms and adversarial developmental programs.
Black budget military.
And of course, we're very interested in what happens in the
man.
water,
No, bro. No.
So if there are objects that are
if they are
or air crews are encountering in this,
what you mean if? How could you still say if? What are you talking about, Mr. Honorable Ronald Moultrie? If objects are encountered by man, I mean you lost your credibility, sir. Man, get him the fuck off of here, man. Why has he got a job? This whole position is fraud. It's meaningless. It's useless.
We should have known about. And if so, how do we put that intelligence requirement in place to ensure that we are following an adversarial development or any other development that may be out there? So that's what we want to do in terms of normalizing this and bringing it into the normal process of how we identify unknown unknowns.
So you mentioned fidelity, and I think it's important to talk about the relationship from the Navy as the lead agency on this. How do you interact with Space Force, Air Force to create that degree of fidelity? We're talking about sensors and so on, and I guess where I have some concerns that many of the images that we see commonly in this committee and even in open source, the resolution and the clarity that would allow a robust technical intelligence analysis is challenging. So is AIMSOC prepared to address the quality and quantity of data collected on UAP to advance intelligence collection, and do you have the adequate sensors you need to collect that high quality data?
one of the lines of effort that we have is looking at our sensor capabilities and to understand whether or not, as the video showed that Mr. Bray displayed, sometimes it's very fleeting data that we have on some of these objects. And we want to make sure that, one, our systems are calibrated to actually be able to collect on the objects. You know, our sensors today they're calibrated for specific things. We want to make sure they're calibrated for things of this nature, things of this size, things of this velocity, if I can use that term. We want to make sure that once we have that data is stored in some standardized method that we can then extract and that we can feed into our system real time. So we do not want this to take some prolonged period of time for us to get that data. But our goal is absolutely to have that high fidelity information that we get from all sensors, and we want to be able to integrate that with what we may have off of ground-based sensors. So whatever we may have on a platform, whatever we may have on the ground, whatever we may have from other sensors that we may have in different domains. We want to be able to integrate that all and get this integrated picture as we would, as I said, with any other unidentified object.
Different domains. So what domains is that?
Part of our normal intelligence responsibilities.
Water, land, sea, space, any other domains, any more domains?
Encountered a UAP. Walk me through the reporting protocol once I see something that I think needs reported.
Man, nobody want to hear that, Mr. Crawford. That's a dumbass question. Walk them through the process. Who gives a damn about the process, man? There's some shit in the sky we need to
ensure that whatever sensor data may be on the aircraft, that we preserve that so that it's available for later analysis. Second, they would actually fill out a form that includes details like where they were operating, altitudes they were operating, speeds, what they observed, whatever sensor data they may have recorded from that. And then that report is filed. It goes two places. One, it goes through the operational chain of command, so that operational units are aware of what's being observed, and also to the UAP task force, so that they can take that data, database it, and quite often have individuals from the task force contact the aviator and ask them additional questions if there were things that weren't clear in the report. That then goes into a database where we begin to compare it with other observations that we have, again, comparing for locations, comparing for altitudes, speeds, shapes, if any RF emissions were detected from the platform, all of that, so that we can try to reach some conclusions on that.
Thank you. Yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Chairmanship.
Thanks, Chairman.
That's simple.
Mr. Bray, can you
obvious.
That first image, it looked like it was outside of a plane window. And if you wouldn't mind going up to the screen and tell us what we're seeing. Not that you can necessarily tell us what we're seeing, but explain what we should be looking at in that first image.
Absolutely. And Alexi, what
now that's a better question, because I was trying to see what the hell they were showing. So I went silent now? Explain to us, my friend.
And are we looking outside of a civilian aircraft window? Is that what we're looking at? Okay.
What? Let me hear it. Man, I'm done with y'all, man. I'm done with them too, man. They just fraud, man. These people are frauds, bro. I mean, for real, for real. These boys, let me go back to my...
Dave, you done slapped me twice. Early in the show, you said, yeah, did Miami win like 4 games or 5 games?
Hey, we only won 1 extra, so...
Oh man, my poor Canes, man.
I know.
I just want my Hurricanes to be good for Christmas, man.
I'm forgetting everything today because I didn't get a lot of sleep. But yeah, I mean,
I think the defense will be more improved this year. Hopefully it takes a bigger step forward than just 10 spots.
All right, well, Sheldon, tell me about this offense now, because that's big. There's been a lot of speculation. Excuse me. Like I said, Billy Napier is he's not the OC, is he? He's not the OC, but he was a receivers coach. He is the OC as well. Play
he's
call.
the OC. He is. Him and Robbie Sale, I think, are kind of sharing it, but he definitely is. It falls on his shoulder. Yeah.
Right. So what are we going to see different? Right. I was 6-6 now. What are we going to see different here from a growth standpoint on the offense from the Florida Gators as they get ready to take on this year? Because I know there's some pressure and the rumblings around. I'm not shooting shots. These are just what I've been hearing, different things. And I'm gonna tell you about that little birdie. I know I saw y'all show when they said a little birdie told me something. I'm gonna tell y'all about that birdie. But I'm just asking a question. I know that there's some rumblings. A lot of people are saying that Florida not gonna be as good as people think they're gonna be. They still got a lot of things to fix.
I don't think nobody thinks they're gonna be good, Coach. So I don't know.
Okay, so I don't want to because you guys even alluded as well to say, it takes time to build it, right?
Yeah.
And not once within this hour have you said, man, look here, we're gonna be here. So what does Coach Napier have to do this year to say, all right, we're on the right track?
The Gators have humbled themselves.
So I think, look, there's a reason you play the games, and I'm very optimistic. They call me the Disney Gator because I think success could definitely happen this year. And the reason being,
we drink Kool-Aid with mine. That's why they don't like us. Even though instead of being like, man, we ain't gonna be good, we think we're gonna be good every year.
I think the combination didn't know how to work. From talking
we think
to my
we're gonna be good every
there's a lot
year.
of freedom in Anthony and said, hey, look, you make the decision here. And I think they gave him, a lot of freedom out there on the field to kind of really find his place, which paid off sometimes.